coming up next on In the Boxseat podcast.
I've got Anthony Delpesh as my mentor, and he's really been invaluable to my apprenticeship and just helping me learn and grow a lot as a rider. So I want to stay here and keep working on that because I feel like there's still so much for me to learn.
There's an age called Gen Z, I think it is. And do you know about Gen Z?
No, I'm a baby boomer.
Okay, because one of the team that works with us behind the scenes, they're part of Gen Z. And when he greeted me this morning, he said, "Morning, Warren, you're a banana." Now, do you know what that means?
I would take it as an insult.
Well, I thought it was an insult. Then I said, "Well, what is a banana?" He said, no, it's a compliment. He says, "It means you're very appealing." How's that one? He said it's a bit of a dad joke. That's a shocker. That's an absolute shocker.
The level of education these days.
It's an absolute shocker. But there we go. I'm a banana and I'm appealing. But there we go. We learn things new every day. It's great to be with Andrew Harrison, and we've got a special guest in studio with us today, or in Clubhouse, I should say. And we've seen what Rachel Vennick has done. And she's obviously a female rider who's taken the world by storm, really. Having travelled overseas and been successful, and I'm sure that that her success has made some appeal to female riders. And we've got young Savanna Valjalo, and that's how you say it, Valjalo. Everybody wants to try and be fancy, but that's not the case. Savanna Valjalo. She is an apprentice, female apprentice at the South African Jockey Academy. She's our guest, and Andrew and I are really looking forward to the next half an hour. Savannah, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for having me in the box seat. It's really awesome to be here.
But you're not good, though. You're sick.
I mean, the flu does its rounds from time to time. It's just one of those things you have to deal with, the ups and downs as they come. But we're moving forward.
Thank you for joining us. Still there that you're feeling a little under the weather, but you were saying that you're feeling much better, which is good. And just having a word with Stuart Randolph, who's obviously an official in this National Horse Racing Authority. Good advice. He said, don't come back and get clever, just get 100% better and then come back. And it's so true.
Yeah, it is true. I think one of the things that I struggle with the most is feeling guilty about taking time off and not being in the saddle, kind of getting my routine kind of put on pause.
Yes.
I think that's one of the hardest things for me, but exactly, our health is something that we got to prioritize, especially for longevity in the game. So,
and you'll get over it.
and absolutely, she'll get over the flu, and she'll be back. But talking about injuries and things, Damien Pillay, who's obviously when his injury, and I remember him chatting to me many times at the track, saying, "I just want to get back. I want to get back." And everybody just said to him, "Wait, patience." And Rachel, now you can see. Well, Rachel made a remarkable comeback. I mean, she's come back quickly. I mean, first meeting back, bang, she was in the winner's box. So, but the point is, get better and get sound before doing what you do best. Let's just your surname. So Valjalo. What nationality is it? South African, English?
It's actually Croatian.
Okay,
yes.
wow. Okay,
so my dad's side of the family are Croatian.
Okay,
yeah.
Goran Ivicevic, didn't he come from Croatia?
Oh, now you're picking my brain. I know some of the soccer players.
So Savanna Valjalo, and I suppose so people see a bit of awkward spelling and they want to try and change the pronunciation, and it's good to know. So Valjalo it is. Do you come from a racing family? Tell us your background.
In terms of racing in my family, my dad actually worked at Turfentine back in his day. And he, I believe, used to write down the results on the whiteboards.
Okay.
I believe that's how it was done back in the day. And I think from there, he just kind of stayed in horse racing. And him and his business partner, Wayne Jackson, they have owned quite a number of horses together in their past. And obviously, while I was growing up, and I traditionally was a show jumper. That's how I was always involved with horses since the age of 3.
Sure, okay.
And I really enjoyed going to track with my dad. He would take me on Saturdays, early mornings, and he would also take me to the auctions and everything, which is something I really, really enjoyed. So that's kind of how my family is involved in racing. But in terms of riding, I was the only rider in my family. My mom started riding in COVID, but we've always loved horses. We've always been animal people. So
Jeez, that's interesting. So interesting, because as you say, your dad was involved from, he wasn't a trainer or he wasn't a jockey, he was in the industry working, that was his job, and then he took a love to owning horses. So that's very interesting. Savanna's talking about writing results on the whiteboards and handwritten betting tickets. I mean, that's going back some time.
Yeah, but I remember in the old days, we didn't have anything. The jockeys, they used to slide the jockeys' names into the board, so and the weights and the scratchings. It was all manual.
Yes. And also remember here in the Summerfeld Clubhouse, there was the declarations were also hand. I mean, there were sheets of paper on the wall, and you'd have to write. The trainer would phone in, not from a cell phone, from the landline, and say, "Well, I want 8 on 18, declare it with Elamites and Savanna Valjalo."
All the agents used to, probably because it used to be done at the back here, all the agents jockeys' agents used to be sit there, say, "We'll take that one, we'll take that one."
It's amazing.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's amazing how things have changed and developed. When Savanna, having that exposure to racing and to horses, when did and sorry, before I ask you that question, what's so interesting is how many people come through as jockeys, as show jumpers, that start off show jumping, Gavin Larina, Rachel Venica, now Savanna, and the list goes on, Yeah,
well, it's the love of the horse.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes. And then, of course, you want a bit more.
With Pit Buerta, I mean, he said, the one thing that he misses most is actually riding.
And you also, because I'm sure you get an adrenaline rush from show jumping and all the rest of it, but there's no adrenaline rush like racing.
I don't know, when you see a 6-foot jump, I would also bloody stain my brooks.
So when, at what stage of your life did it become appealing to you? When did you think, well, hang on, I want to take this up as a possible career? When did the bug really bite?
I think it was, I think going back to when my dad actually took me to training on Saturday mornings, I would always watch and be like, this looks like so much fun. It's something I really want to do. But I think me being this tiny little girl that I was, I think it's hard for people to look at a little girl and be like, okay, we'll put you on this crazy young horse and let you go really, really fast, knowing the dangers of racing and everything. So I think it was quite a struggle, because I had a couple of moments where I did ask, like, I just want to try it. Do you mind putting me on one? And now when I think back, it's quite a crazy question to ask when I was that little, but I didn't really get given the opportunity. And I also noticed that there weren't any female jockeys around. So I just kind of let it sit in the back of my head, but I never really pursued anything. And then I had a young show jumper that I was producing. He was a young stallion, and at home I think he struggled with being only around 3 other horses. So when I took him to shows, he got really anxious and struggled around big groups of horses. So he spent a December at Randkiesfontein, and then obviously him being there, I also was spending more time with the racehorses, and I found it really interesting also how two sports like racing and show jumping that involved horses were just two completely different worlds. So me being me and loving horses, I wanted to learn more about it and everything. And then I got told about the ladies' race in Cape Town, the Lomarans King's Plate. Jonathan Snaith contacted me about riding in it, and I guess that's where everything started falling into place, because that's when I ended up having my first ride at track, and immediately I loved it. So I think that's essentially where it all properly started.
How did you get into work riders races first?
Well, so to get into the ladies' race, I had to go through the work riders to get like a temporary license, just to show that we were capable of competing in the ladies' race. Because obviously it is an amateur race, but they still have to go through all of the safety precautions and everything for the girls to have ridden. And so I completed my work riders first 3 months, and then I rode the race. I ended up winning the race, which I think was a huge opportunity for me.
That was going to be my next question, because I can't remember who won the last race yesterday.
Yes.
Never mind that race. You did win it, hey?
Yes. Yeah, and I think that really did open up a lot of doors for me in pursuing this being my career now. And
were your parents happy that you decided to become a jockey?
I think so, yes.
It's a dangerous sport.
I know it is a dangerous sport, but when it comes to show jumping, it's just as dangerous, you know?
No, sure.
I think the difference is the fact that you're not galloping on a field with maybe 10 or 12 other horses plus. But there's still dangers in riding horses in general. I mean, a lot of people that I know and have been top show jumpers have hurt themselves the worst going for a little walk on their horses.
Yes,
So regardless of whether you are going flat out on the race course, jumping over some poles, or just going for a walk, there's still dangers involved. It's just not really one of those things that I think about, because on the back of the horse is where I'm happiest.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going back to what Savanna said, you hit a blank spot where you were asking about, how did you get into the work riders race and that sort of thing. And you said, well, you had to go and qualify, you get a certificate for safety and all the rest of it. And at that stage, obviously, the academy was not part of your life at that stage.
No.
Okay.
No, so I was just doing it completely through work riders. I had applied at the academy, but traditionally they take students, I think, no older than 20. And at that point, I think I was 25 or 26, so I was like way over age. But I think I just pursued then with my work riders. I ended up getting my proper license to now compete in work rider races. I did all of my qualifying rides down the straight, and then I got to ride around the bend a couple of times. And then at the end of last year, I got contacted by the academy to say that I was more than welcome if I still wanted to do my apprenticeship.
Excellent. They used to be quite strict in the old days in the academy. If you got over a certain age, they wouldn't let you in.
But again, we were talking about how things have evolved and how things have changed, like with technology and scratchings and all the rest of it. It's changed a bit in that area too. I mean, you look at some of the you look at Callan Murray, tall, thin, but can make the weight. Some other jocks that are short and maybe a bit stockier that battle with them. It's just so different. And Bernard Fadob is another example, and the list goes on. I mean, Gavin Loreen is a tall, big, thick-boned oak, that does battle with his weight, but it's manageable. It's.
And then you get blokes like Warren Kennedy, when he was in the academy, he weighed 27.
Absolutely. So what you're saying is right. I think that they have not softened the rules, but they've been a bit more flexible.
It's completely different, though. I think they had more people in those days who would actually apply for those things. They were so strict. You had to have a certain shoe size. You had bone density. They checked out if you're going to grow or not, and then they decided on that. But they had a good choice of.
A lot of people. Yes. A lot of people. Now you've got to cast the net, but you've got to cast the net a bit wider. And
so if you get someone like Savanna who comes in who wants to ride, his weight's good, you've got to give them a chance.
Absolutely, I hear what you're saying, and I think that's what the academy have done, which is fabulous. Talking of weight, you never ask a female what their weight is and if they battle with their weight, but in this industry, it's all about weight. Whether you're a male or a female, you need to watch your weight. Do you have any weight issues, and what do you weigh? What's your best, most comfortable riding weight?
My riding weight is 50 kilograms.
Okay, wow, that's excellent.
So I'm comfortable there, and I don't really have any issues when it comes to my weight. I think it's something that's been pretty stable throughout. I think since I finished school.
But you still, you would have to be mindful. I mean, you can't go and have 3 chocolate cakes. You've got to be mindful of it, despite the fact that you still, have it well under control.
Yes, exactly. No, I think I've also always been sort of the type to care about what I put in my body, and I've grown up with an older brother that was a bodybuilder. He got his Protea colors for bodybuilding. So I took an interest in what he was doing when he was preparing for his bodybuilding competitions and everything. So I learned a lot about nutrition and all of that through my brother. And I think it's just something I also used to be one to go to the gym with him or go to the gym on my own quite often. My whole family is pretty sporty. My dad does Ironman. My mom's just done High Rocks in Cape Town.
Sure.
So,
Sterling Miller did High Rocks.
Yes, exactly.
It looks epic.
It's
looks
intense.
difficult, intense. Yeah.
Bodybuilding.
Talking about bodybuilding, I was going to say, remember the days when you were a bodybuilder?
Yeah, and I used to
23.
I used to have 26 eggs a morning.
Oh my goodness.
But I said, I've always had a six-pack. I've always had a six-pack of fresh rolls. Six-pack of fresh rolls around, yeah?
Yeah, one of those.
But
They used to come in a box, yeah.
Back in 1923, you were the Ashburton bodybuilder. I think you were the only person in Ashburton at the time. I think, does Ashburton have a gym?
Yes, I do.
Oh, they do. Okay. Well, you should maybe frequent it a bit more, judging by the size of your tank. Anyway.
Oh, it's a Weber.
It's a Weber. We'd love to have fun. So that's how you got into the academy and into their system. How many? It's tricky now because, as you say, have you only had the one ride in a work riders race?
No, you had a few.
No, I had 12 starts.
12
as a
starts.
work rider.
Okay. So then 12 starts. But put that aside. Let's talk about race riding as an apprentice.
Yes.
How many rides? How many winners? Talk about stats.
I think I've had just over 20 rides now. I've had 2 winners.
Okay.
And a handful of seconds and thirds.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. They all count.
Yeah.
So, and then overall in your life, 5 winners. You've passed the line in front on a horse 5 times.
Yes.
Okay, so 2 as an apprentice, 3 as a work rider.
But I spoke to, you had a ride for Duncan Howes once.
Yes.
Yes, and he said, she's brave.
You got to be.
Yes, yeah, I'm competitive. And I don't know, I think being on the horse is like my happy place where I feel most free. So when I'm now in a competition with a whole bunch of horses going fast, then it's something.
Because I asked Duncan, I said,
in.
why did he put you on? I mean, because he said, she's brave. But, so anyway, coming from Dunks, that's not bad.
Yeah, absolutely. As he's affectionately known by his friends as Grumps. Let's talk about Rachel, because we mentioned, the success of ladies and it's the ladies' power and that's so fabulous. Has she had much of an interest or an influence? I mean, have you was she a bit of a role model is what I'm trying to say? I mean, when you wanted to start getting involved, did you think, well, hang on, if Rachel can do it, I want to be like Rachel?
I think with Rachel, she definitely paved the way for the industry to be more open to girls coming through the system. I know in Australia, for example, and the UK, there are quite a lot of female riders, but for some reason in South Africa, not too much. And I think Rachel coming through and being as successful as she is has definitely helped for other girls and, for example, me coming through the system.
I was looking at some stats the other day. In Australia, 40% of the jocks are female.
Yeah.
Sure.
New Zealand, 30%.
Oh, wow.
We got 1%.
Yeah.
So I said to Warren, I said, why don't you get a few girls to come over here where they 1.5 kilo clay. They clean up there.
Yes, yeah.
So at the moment, it's race riding. It's you and Rachel, the 2 ladies in South Africa.
There's also Petra Porfi. She rode her debut yesterday.
Okay.
Yes.
So then that was going to be the next question. How many ladies at the academy? Just the 2? You and
There's also Vilmeen Fourie.
Okay, that's 3.
She's ridden in work rider races also, and she was also in that ladies race, the La Mans.
Okay. So there's 3 at the academy. Hey?
Yes.
Yourself, Petra is the lady's name.
Yes.
And then Vilmeen. Okay, so that's the 3, and then Rachel. So theoretically, and hopefully in time there'll be more coming through the system, but there's going to be 4 ladies riding, so that's good. I mean, that's a huge, Andrew, when you think of it before Rachel's time, I mean, that's a huge improvement and a huge leap forward. That there's, because when people ask you, how many ladies have you got riding at Savanna, you say none. Now we can say we've got 4.
Yeah, I know, but I've always had this general impression that you're not strong enough. But if you look at Rachel Blackmore in England, I mean, she won the Grand Nationals.
Now, let's go and talk about your plans for the future. What is that? You're Joburg based. I mean, you were born and bred in Joburg.
Yes.
So what are your plans? What's happening? How many years have you got left? Where do you want to go?
In total, I'm doing a 3-year apprenticeship.
Okay.
So I've got the rest of this year and then 2 more years to do.
Okay.
But in terms of my plans, for the time being, I'm going to stay in KZN at least until the end of the year. I've got Anthony Delpesh as my mentor, and he's really been invaluable to my apprenticeship and just helping me learn and grow a lot as a rider. So I want to stay here and keep working on that because I feel like there's still so much for me to learn, and I wouldn't want to miss out on the opportunity of obviously having him as my right-hand man. And I've also been lucky enough to get quite a few Hollywood rides, and I would like to keep the ball rolling with that. I've also developed quite a few relationships with the trainers and everything on the side, so I just want to keep that going before I pack up and make any moves right now. I'm still building on my foundation, and so I'm going to keep riding the wave.
It's the right way, Andrew, do you agree?
No, for sure. Take it slowly.
And as you say, riding the wave and just continuing.
Exactly.
Absolutely brilliant.
Well, like Warren Kennedy was saying, I mean, it took him, close on 15, nearly 20 years before he actually broke into the game.
Yes.
Really, properly.
Yeah, absolutely. Talking of trainers here at Summerveld, and possibly Johannesburg, because you rode a winner the other day in Johannesburg for Tony Peter, is that correct?
Yes,
what was the horse's name? I can't remember.
Blizzard Snow.
Blizzard Snow, that's right. I think for Mr. Stinky Poe.
Correct,
absolutely. Okay. See, I do remember some things, George.
Not often.
Trainers, yes, you try and get to everybody. You try and, we understand all that, but I won't say your top 5 trainers, but who do you see as often as you can on a day-to-day basis, and who's helping you, who's supporting you?
I would say my mornings always start off with Mr. Puller. He's definitely been someone that I've made an effort to go to often. Obviously, he was a jockey in his time also, and there's nothing like experience.
He wasn't
I think
just a
especially
jockey,
in
he was
this
a bloody good jockey.
Exactly. And there's nothing like experience in this game. So for me to learn from his wisdom, I think is also something that's very invaluable. So Mr. Puller is someone that I go to all the time. Mr. Miller and his team, that goes also back to Joburg because I ride quite a lot of work for Adam Azzi. And obviously the family ties and everything. I try my best to show up there as much as possible too. Mr. and Mrs. Wright, they have supported me from day dot when I arrived in KZN. So definitely trainers that I do make an effort to go to also.
You ride for the Millers, do you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I have.
They have more than one string. They have a second and third string. Don't worry. You might miss the first string at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I wonder why Yudi walks around in a coma
I don't know where he sleeps or when he sleeps, but yes, there have been a couple of mornings where I have been up for their first string, especially when I've had rides for them and I need to work them. So yes.
That Savanna was talking about Mr. and Mrs. Wright. Alison loves that dad joke as well. She says, when I married Mr. Wright, I didn't know that his first name was Always.
I've heard that a couple of times.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so there's a big band of trainers, and obviously, if you get a gap to go to others and broaden your throw the net out and get more rides. So that's good. That is fantastic. And work riding, well, you've touched on that. You've been there, done that. You're still doing it. The show jumping arena, was it jumping or dressage, or what did you do in that department?
Show jumping.
Just show
jumping.
Okay.
Mostly just a show jumper. I did produce a lot of young horses though. Show jumping, you only spend a short period of time in the air jumping. So a lot of it has to do with dressage and schooling of the horses. So I would say, a lot of flat work at home and jumping in general.
Who was your mentor in show jumping?
Ronnie Healy. He was also my coach. And I would also say Dominic Alexander. He was my coach too, as I went through my junior and adult ranks.
Savannah,
I tried it once.
You tried show jumping?
Yeah, boy.
Who was
But I chickened out with it.
Who was it that said you were a good golfer? Who was it that told me on this podcast
Andrew Fortune.
Andrew Fortune said you were a good golfer.
I was a good show jumper until I chickened out.
I didn't. There's a lot of things we don't know about you. Good show jumper, eh? Okay, I didn't know you knew how to spell horse, never mind show jump. Savannah, let's go back to your family. Talk about it. It's just a family of 4, is that?
5.
5?
Yes.
Okay, so who haven't we spoken about? You've mentioned mom, dad, brother, yourself?
I've also got a twin brother.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yes.
okay. She's, all right, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he doesn't ride.
No, he's actually a professional skateboarder.
Oh, yes, I read that.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been to the Olympics twice now.
Sheesh, okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's interesting. That's interesting. Okay. And obviously your two brothers take obviously a great interest in your career. They watch you ride and they watch all that. I mean, they're
Yes.
keen.
Yeah.
Okay. Geez, that's
We're a
fantastic.
very supportive family. We're very close to all of one another. And even though we might be in different parts of the world, most of the time we all have each other's backs and we're all very supportive.
Okay.
And,
Fantastic.
and
Older
close,
brothers still
yeah.
eat 25 eggs a day.
No, I don't think so. Thank goodness.
The Academy has recently taken on or employed, whatever word you want to use, Mitch Curtis. Now we know that the South African Jockey Academy pride themselves on the staff, on the riding masters, and there's a lot of them. There's Martin Ball, let's name them: Martin Ball, Nicky Roebuck,
And Rocky the jockey.
Rocky Agrella, Paddy Wynn, and now Mitch Curtis. It's those five, am I right? We
Yes.
haven't missed anybody out. We haven't left. But let's just talk about Mitch, because he's the latest acquisition from Hong Kong. He comes with a lot of experience.
Yes.
And I mean, do they each have their own role? I mean, do they sort of, does each riding master have a different department, or do they sort of all train en masse?
I think they all have their own sort of roles, but at the same time, it is also a group effort. There's rotating duties and things like that. But yeah, I mean, they all work hand in hand to help us as apprentices.
That's a great story, because, of course, the great Vincent Curtis, who's still actively involved in the Cape Town Academy. I mean, he must be very proud that his son has gone abroad and he's now come back home.
When I spoke to Mitchell yesterday, I said, "You bloody dead ringer for your arm."
Absolutely he is. And I had never met him before until Bart Vanders, who's here from Hong Kong, introduced me to him, and I hadn't met him. And
Mitchell used to be a handler at the start.
yeah, so, and you're quite right. Splitting image of his father, you're quite right. Yeah, absolutely.
So I've sprung a leak in my nose. Sorry.
That's okay, it doesn't matter. We're in the home straight anyway, just one or two other things to talk about, just some fun things. Hobbies, do you have any other interests besides horses?
Oh, I think horses in itself is a full-time job.
So not a hobby.
But-
That's not a hobby. Okay,
No.
Good point.
Especially if you're looking after them on your own. So back at home, my horses live with us. So that's a full-time job, managing the stables, managing the horses, making sure they're injury-free, happy, healthy, all of that. But apart from that, just sports in general. I think that goes back to my family being a very sporty family. We really enjoy watching sports and cheering for each other. And then I'm also actually in my third year of studying BCom accounting.
Okay.
It's my second degree, so if I'm not writing and I'm not doing my studies, then there's not much time I have free for anything else.
Okay.
But
What's your first degree?
my first degree was a BBA in marketing management.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
That's good.
Cleverer than most people.
That's
Thank
good. That's
you.
very good. That's very good. Favorite food? I mean, are you a seafood person? If Andrew and I say we're taking you out to go and have a meal, where are we going?
Anywhere with chicken pesto pasta.
Chicken pesto pasta.
I don't know what it
okay.
is, but that's like my death row meal.
Okay, chicken pesto pasta. And
Yeah.
Drink, I mean, are you a hot beverage drinker? Are you cold drink, a glass of wine? What's your favorite drink?
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Yeah,
okay.
I love a cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Yeah.
Have you had the ones at the cappuccino right here at the Summerveld Clubhouse?
I actually haven't.
Pinky makes the best cappuccino here. It must come through the machine, and it must come through Pinky. Different division.
Okay, noted.
No
Noted.
doubt. Make a note of that. And then last bit of fun or question. Social media. Are you much of a social media person?
I am, yes.
Okay, so
I am pretty much on Instagram and Facebook mostly. With my brothers also being sportsmen and living outside of the country, that's kind of how we keep up with each
Okay,
other as
yeah,
family.
yeah,
We just watch
yeah.
each other's stories, see what they've been doing throughout the day. So yeah, but I mean, social media, I think it's a growing thing also in general. and the more you can get out there, the
better. Yeah,
better.
that's it.
So-
Where's your skateboarding brother?
At the moment, he's in Barcelona.
Okay. When is the next Olympics? Next year or something, isn't it?
I think it's 2028 in LA.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. And his name, so we can follow him.
Brandon Valjalo.
Brandon. Okay.
So
right.
that's the skateboarding brother.
Yes.
And then the bodybuilding brother, what is his name?
Sheldon.
Sheldon, okay.
Yes,
it's
so he
Brandon.
lives in the UK. He's not bodybuilding anymore, but he's been doing the high rocks competitions as a professional. But I think at the moment he's currently training for an Ironman.
Okay, well, talking of high rocks, and
What's high rocks? You climb up the mountain.
No, I knew you were going to say something like that. It's not where the rocks are high on the beach. High rocks is it's like an Ironman, if you would. It's you can push weights, lift weights, climb under things, climb over things. And Sterling Miller, shout out to Sterling. Yeah, well, it is a bit like the army.
It is a bit of a boot camp sort of thing.
And a big shout out to Sterling Miller. Actually, he's put a lot of time into that. And he's done hugely well. So well done, Sterling. Shout out to you for the High Rocks competition. Not easy. Savannah, well, it's been lovely to sit and chat with you and hear about your story and your passion and your love for horses and for the industry. And we just wish you all the very best. And
Thank you.
Yeah, to your whole family. And we see your dad's name in the race card often in Gauteng. Has he got any horses in Durban?
He actually doesn't have any in Durban, no.
We're going to have a word with him.
What's wrong with him, man?
Have a word with him. He needs to send a few here so you can ride them.
I'm sure in time we'll grow our horses, I'm
absolutely.
sure.
Talking of growing horses, you need to get involved again, and I think I've got one to lasso you in.
Right.
No, there's always a few rand for a horse.
No, I was just checking my bank account now. Lucky we get paid tomorrow.
So you would make
I've got 8 rand in my bank account.
What is that saying? I heard it saying this morning at the track. They said, I said to somebody, Al, you fast, eh? They said, yes, I'm faster than a debit order going off on payday. Savannah, that's it. That's it from us. Thank you. And to everybody at the South African Jockey Academy and to all the appies and to all the riders, always be safe and just keep grinding. And to your family, all the best. And we will follow your career with great interest. And thanks for being with us.
Thanks for coming on,
Thank you for
man.
having me.
Not feeling so well. Thank you.
Yes,
Thank
absolutely.
you.
And get better soon. Grumps, no other further news. The World Pool Gold Cup race meeting is of course on Sunday.
This is not going to come up.
Well, I don't know. We'll talk to the team. We're recording Thursday. They guarantee me it'll be out by Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock. They're shaking their heads. They're saying no. No. But Kay over here says he says he could make a plan and get it out by 3 o'clock this afternoon. I think they're definitely going to get it out before the Whirlpool Gold Cup. That's on Sunday. If they can't, they're fired. So there we go. So there's big racing.
Yep.
And I don't want to end on a somber note, but it would be remiss if we didn't talk about, just before we wrap up, and send our huge condolences to the Boertes family. I mean, tragedy struck yesterday.
Yeah.
It was not pleasant at all. And of course, you would have known Barent from
Mr.
you.
Boertes, I actually rode a winner for him in my work riders.
Okay. Very sad.
I know them quite well,
Yeah.
and it's an absolute tragedy.
Yeah, absolute tragedy. So to the whole Boertes family, and of course to Simone, if I'm pronouncing her name correctly, Simone Kotze, Barent's partner, and to all the family and the kids, really our condolences to you. A very sad day yesterday, and we will miss Barent. Horseman of the highest order, who, that breeding program, I mean, I don't know if you were with me in the office when he took me through the whole thing. I mean, a phenomenal brain and a phenomenal horseman, so he will be missed. But that's a wrap from us. Punt well, be safe. Who's going to win the Gold Cup? Whether this is flighted before or after, who's going to win?
King Pelez.
King Pels is what it's called.
It's Pels.
Yeah, there's been a debate. Is it
Official
Pelez?
king.
King Pels, that's what we've been instructed to call it.
Oh, okay.
And that's what we'll call it, King Pels. Who do you like for the Gold Cup?
I was about to say King Pels.
King Pels, okay, King Pels, there we go.
So we'll call it Pelez.
Well, King Pels, King Pelez. But anyway, as long as you're not a banana, it'll be all right.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh, one more thing before we end. Bart Vanders. Come here, Bart. Come here and come and stand with us for a minute. This man has come to South Africa. Well, he's been on our podcast before, and he's come to South Africa to be here for the Whirlpool Gold Cup, just to say hello on our podcast, and to say thank you for coming to South Africa, as you always do, and for marketing our sport so well in Hong Kong.
Always
nice to have you here. We'll have breakfast just now.
Oh, yeah.
That's Bart Vanders, who's jetted in from Hong Kong for the Hong Kong Whirlpool Gold Cup. So it's lovely to have some of the delegates here too with us. That's a wrap from all of us. Punt well, be safe, be kind, and as always, we'll see you in the number 1 box.